Shannon, and today I'm back with a new series called Sketch With Me. In this series, I will be sketching a subject in every episode and talking about an art-related question or issue that exists. I'm going to be drawing a variety of flowers from references that I took, and I'm also going to be talking about how I found my art style. It's been almost 2 years since I first started YouTube, and I remember when I first started out, I wanted to find my artistic style, and I thought branching my art onto different social platforms would help me do that. But fast forward 2 years and I've learned and grown and changed my perspective in more ways than one. And I still have so much to learn. I couldn't possibly give you guys the best 5 tips on finding your art style, but I just wanted to share a little bit about my struggle in how I found peace with that term. Foremost thing that I would think about when finding my art style would be to look at what artists I really love and what kind of style these artists combined together share. So for me, I'm a huge fan of realism, magic realism, a lot of illustrative work as well. I'm not really too into a lot of modern styles like abstract and cubism or anything like that. When I first started learning art and learning at school, I was introduced to the world of realism. The first thing that they teach you in art school is realism. They want you to really attack realism head on. They do this with the intention that you will understand that realism applies to every style, every genre. It will help you advance to the genre or style that you want. So for me, I didn't really think of realism and classical work as my style because I thought that was the general basic level that artists start from. And I didn't want to be basic. I didn't want to be stuck at the basic level. I wanted to have something creative, something unique, and I didn't think realism was that. And so I tried different styles. I tried abstracting my techniques. I tried being more looser with my brushstrokes. I wanted to explore all the techniques and genres and styles that were taught to me and that I learned about. I wanted to explore them before settling on a style that may have been basic. And after a while, I realized that on my Instagram and other social media platforms that a lot of the artists I follow share the same or similar passions and interests that I share when it comes to art styles. And so I realized that if I'm following people who love the same thing that I do, and maybe that I should, is a big, definite clue to what my art style could be. Finding a group of people, or even one person who inspires you and shares similar interests with you, will help you determine what your art style may be. They can definitely influence, even one person on their own can influence how you create and how you make art. Another tip that I would give is to try all sorts of medium. Really experiment with mediums that you aren't comfortable with to see what you can do. Being a stickler for realism, I mainly stuck to graphite, charcoal, pastel, and any sort of other dry medium. However, I really now love using ballpoint pens, alcohol-based and ink-based markers, as well as collaging techniques. I love to combine dry and wet mediums together as well, like acrylic and with ink or graphite, and it's a really cool experiment to me when I'm able to get an interesting image that evokes a message. Another thing that I would recommend is to find different subject matter. I know sometimes art styles can be associated with drawing the same subject matter on and over again, but in order to get to that point or find an art style, which can be anything actually, it doesn't have to be related to subject matter. It can be the way you move your brush, the way you shade in, or anything like that. I realize that I've always loved drawing people and portraits. However, these days I find that I'm really branching out my subject matter. I draw a lot of botanical illustrations like this, and a lot of technical illustrations, and you know, like shoes, like fashion, which is a good way for me to really understand how certain things appear in relation to people. Because people wear clothes, people drive cars, people, you know, like people can be in settings or landscapes that have flowers in them. One thing I would recommend if you want to draw people or portraits is to go to a cafe or library maybe and draw people who are sitting there. I give you the tip of drawing older people because they tend to move less, but you are free to draw whoever you want. Also, whenever you go to the park or maybe when you go to the lake, just bring your sketchbook with you and a pencil and draw what you see. After doing all three of these, just keep drawing. Draw and draw and draw. Paint and paint and paint. Create however you want to, with whatever medium you want, whatever subject matter that appeals to you, and in whatever style that may be. After a while, you may realize that you have a certain way that you draw eyes. You have a certain way that you draw heads. Or that you draw portraits more than you do flowers or something like that. And once that happens, once that epiphany clicks, you will realize that finding an artistic style isn't as important as people make it out to be. Sure, you want to have a style that separates you from another artist, but as a friend of mine once told me, I'm more interested in artists who experiment with their styles and really try different mediums rather than artists who draw the same things over and over again. Fast forward 2 years and I've really learned that having an art style can really take a toll on somebody. I focused so much on finding an art style and pleasing an audience that I thought I had, but I realized that the most important way for me to grow as an artist is to consider what I find fun and what I enjoy and what my passion lies in. For me, art is a creative outlet to express my emotions and thoughts and feelings, and it's just a great way for me to really relay my thoughts when I can't do that in words. If you want to draw the same thing over and over again and use the same mediums over again, so be it. And if you don't, then so be it as well. There will be somebody in the world who will admire your art and who will appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode of Sketch With Me. I hope this really helped you guys out. There will be more to come, so look forward to that as well. Please Please check out the description box for materials that I use, and check out my other social platforms such as Instagram to see more daily content. Bye guys!